Hello, this is Bill Cloudsy. Welcome to a vintage cube draft here on Magic Online. 8-player pod, single elimination. No power in this pack, and definitely a couple different directions we could take things. Primeval Titan, Grizzlebrand, Bitter Blossom are all powerful in their formats. Watery Grave to stay kind of open, and not too much else. I think I'm going to take Skull Clamp is pretty good too. Confidant in some decks, although there's a lot of expensive things that make it a liability. Anyway, I'm going to stay open here and take Watery Grave, and if we wheel a card from a specific deck, that might give us some insight. Oh, there we go. Ashiok, pick 2. This is a really powerful format for Ashiok because it's a 40-card deck format, so this mills your opponent pretty quickly, and you can get it down early with a lot of the acceleration if you're lucky enough to get a Mox. Often you can get it down turn 2, and we first picked a piece of fixing for it, so I love this Ashiok here. I wouldn't mind Natural Order either. Badlands to follow up Watery Grave. It's nice that it's on one of the same colors, and Exhume, I guess, in the reanimation strategy. It's not the best enabler for that strategy, but it is an enabler. Next up, we don't have any power, but we have Gitaxian Probe, which is one of my favorite cards to put in any style of deck, especially one where you need to know if your opponent, if the coast is clear, you need to know if your opponent has counter magic or a removal spell or something, and you just get to see that. It makes your deck smaller, so you're going to draw your good cards more often, and it's just free. So I'll take that here over Mindslaver, which is a combo piece, and I don't know, Manamorphose, Worn Power Stone. Role players, but nothing special there. This just makes the deck so much more smooth. Now we have a couple good ones. Emrakul, we could try to find a way to play that, sneak that into play, and Thoughtseize, we are in the colors to sort of shut down our opponent. And just like Gitaxian Probe, seeing what your opponent has coming up is pretty good. This thing can see everything they have and take away the best piece of it. In a high combo format, turn 1 Thoughtseize can really screw up someone's hand. And Emrakul, there doesn't seem to be a good way to get that down with the cards we have or even the direction we're going. So I'm just going to grab the Thoughtseize here. Oh, wow. Really good ones in this pack. Hellrider for the aggro player, Scalding Tarn maybe for us, Mother of Runes for aggro, white, Gaia's Cradle, which goes into a couple decks, especially a green ramp deck, Ulamog, a nice reanimation card. And yeah, I'm looking at Ulamog and Scalding Tarn. Ulamog is a nice reanimation target since it doesn't disappear from the graveyard like most of the Eldrazi. Scalding Tarn is nice because we can find our Watery Grave and maybe a good red card in the future. Just to make our deck a bit more consistent, I'm going to grab this Scalding Tarn, and then we'll figure out what the deck turns into a bit later. Emrakul, the Promised End. Yeah, we've got sorceries, planeswalkers, lands. Maybe Emrakul can come down pretty early. Sword of Fire and Ice is another good one to highlight here, since it is so powerful. One of the best swords, protection from some of the best colors, maybe our colors. But I'm going to grab Emrakul here. You can reanimate this one, and it is a big flying trample monster with some protection from spells, instants at least. But the nice part is maybe coming down as an 8-drop or something, and stealing your opponent's turn. Okay, Glint Sleeve Siphoner to maybe draw extra cards. There's no big energy synergy in the format, so it just is drawing cards every so often. Corpse Dance, I don't love it. Nothing here is all that appealing. We've got Goblin Dark Dwellers, Blooming Marsh. What's this? Instant Speed. This actually does get back the Eldrazi Titans because it's instant, but kind of a weird way to try to go there. Oh, I don't know. I'll take Garruk. Why not? None of that really goes into our deck, so at least Garruk's a pretty strong card. Yeah, our cards aren't really showing up here. We could try to go into red. Terminate's a nice one, but it sort of doesn't stand the test of time. Instant speed, but it's a little difficult to use. It's no Swords to Plowshares. Maybe a bit easier to cast in our deck. Yeah, tough one here. I'll go for Kaya. We could end up in Esper, and the nice part about Kaya is exiling cheap permanents, and this is a format full of those. Bitter Blossom and Dark Confidant. Here I'll grab Bitter Blossom. Confidant would be nice in a deck with so many cheap cards, minus Emrakul, but Bitter Blossom could go well with an opposition deck, and it's not bad. Good protection for Ashiok. Ink Eyes, I don't love it. Ninjutsu, and then reanimate something. Progenitus is difficult for us to negotiate into play. I mean, you need some kind of show and tell thing, or natural order. We'll pass it on. I'll take Inkwell Leviathan here as our second, I guess, combo card. Mindslaver, sure, could be what we want here. Phyrexian Arena, the only really thing here. And Ulamog's back. I'll take that over Bedevil, I guess. Thalia, don't want to play against it. We just have so few creatures. And Plow Under is an annoying one that we won't have to deal with anymore. So maybe we can look for good reanimation spells. But yeah, it's just going to be a lot of value here. We'll try to pick up some fixing for white. Now we have some good ones. Channel. Channel. Very difficult for us to cast, but we have a couple good things to cast off of a channel. Emrakul, Ulamog. Yeah, that's tough to get. Then there's Treachery, which is really good, if a bit expensive. And Verdant Catacombs to help fix for the colors we have going on. Channel, does that mess things up too much? Mindslaver's pretty cool too. Channel, Mindslaver, not exactly the best combo on turn one. Kind of like a 2-card Time Walk, because you can get your opponent to discard for their turn and not play a land. Yeah, Treachery is really good. I am so tempted by this channel though, just free wins. We're not really committed to anything yet, and while Treachery is good, it's not like the most insane thing ever in such a fast format. Okay. Remand, 2 mana counter magic. Yeah, Channel might just not make the deck, but it is just one of those super powerful cards that I want to try out. Remand is another one in such a fast format. It pretty much is just counter draw for 2 mana. 2 mana Cryptic Command. Mana Vault, another good one. Ramp out your Ulamogs and whatnot. And what else? I think we go Remand here. That's the kind of thing you get down a powerful Planeswalker and then protect it. What else do we have? Crucible, looking for more of these combos. Crucible is not really a great combo without something like Strip Mine, but if Strip Mine could wheel, or if Crucible could wheel, that would be powerful. I'm going to grab Strip Mine. I'm more worried about that disappearing. Glen Elendra is really hard to fight too, and is solid, but just in case Crucible could come back, I'm going to take this component, and it's a good one. Never going to be too sad about that. Here's Reanimate. This is Reanimate. Now, we don't have the other half of this combo, which is getting a creature into our graveyard, but we can get that eventually. Getting this Ulamog back early is just so powerful, and killing your opponent's creature and getting it back, like Thoughtseize Reanimate, is just about as good of a combo. Mana Leak, it'll be sad to leave that behind, but it's not as good as this win condition. Spell Pierce, 1 mana, counter most things. Gaunty, incredibly powerful. Not a bad target for reanimate, not something bad to ramp into. Tasigur, Necromancy, Battlesphere. We already have some of this stuff. I'm pretty much looking at Gonti versus Spell Pierce, and maybe even Leovold if we do want to go into green, but yeah, I'll take Gonti for now. Bizarre, Gilded Lotus, Negate. Yeah, it's not the fixing I'm looking for. Let's just take Negate here. Whoops. Okay, Creeping Tar Pit. That is more along the lines of the fixing I'm looking for. We don't have a Liliana Planeswalker yet. Search is a bit slow and clunky. It's good, but not really my style. Eureka is fun. I wish the art showed up here. The new art or the old art. But no such luck. That's kind of, if we really did have a green heavy deck, we could be doing Eureka, Channel, all the fun stuff. I'm going to take Creeping Tar Pit here, and that'll help set up a turn 3 Ashiok. Fractured Identity. So pretty much steal a permanent, exile the permanent, then you get a copy. At sorcery speed, kind of slow. We are trying to play Kaya, so maybe that's good enough here. And then Containment Priest, that's okay, but I'd rather play this flashy Fractured Identity. And I don't really want to splash, well, Young Pyromancer's interesting. Yeah, I'll actually take that. If we do end up with opposition, then we'll have Bitter Blossom and Young Pyromancer to help us out there. Yeah, Fractured Identity, just a bit too expensive. If we cut down on our mana cost enough, we can just play one less land or something. Taiga does help with the channel just a little bit. Duretti is really good. Duretti, Mindslaver, Duretti, Inkwell Leviathan. These are things we can look for. Taiga doesn't help with our mana except for a green splash. Like we don't have a green-blue fetch, for example. But yeah, I'll take Duretti here. This is a nice way to rummage through your deck to find the cards you need, but then also do the welding effect where you switch an artifact in play for one in the graveyard. Duress, that's another good one. Not as powerful as Thoughtseize, but still decent. Scarab God is a powerful card, but I don't love it. I just want to be a kind of lower to the ground deck. There it is. Crucible of Worlds is back. That's exciting. Blood Crypt is also really good, but let's do the Crucible of Worlds strip mine thing. Wooded Foothills, nice. Easy pick here. Karakas, well, maybe Karakas is better. We do have this white splash, but I think at this point we're more Grixis than we are Esper. Leovold, grab that. Smokestack, actually, with Bitter Blossom, that's the kind of thing you want with Smokestack. Bitter Blossom, Crucible of Worlds. We'll find out what we're really doing in this last pack, I imagine. Let's see, nothing obvious. Kiki Jiki is a win condition if you're really red enough, which we are not. Buried Alive would help with Reanimate and Duretti. Cheap artifacts would be nice. We kind of gave up on a couple of those. Blade Splicer does make an artifact. Fact or Fiction. Fact or Fiction. That gets some stuff into the graveyard. Not super cheap, but it is pretty good. Then Overgrown Tomb, again, helps us with green, although I'm still not sure if we want to do green. It does also help Wooded Foothills tap for black. Yeah, I'll take Overgrown Tomb here. Kind of weird. There's the opposition. This is what we need to win some games. Yes. Yeah, with little value creatures like Pyromancer, Gonti, maybe whatever we get in from Ashiok, opposition is gonna be great. Let's see, here's a Mox Diamond. That is Probably good enough. A Theomancer is another really nice one with opposition. Let's see, what does Mox Diamond do? You discard a land card, so it's a land we could maybe get back with Crucible. This can get out an early something. It taps for any color. Yeah, let's play this Mox Diamond. A Theomancer could wheel, Mox Diamond definitely won't. I'm not that sad if a Theomancer doesn't come back, but that's a solid way to protect your Planeswalkers and tap down more permanents. Anyway, I like this, the greed, the all-in, discard your whole hand on turn 1 just for a slight advantage, because the advantage you get is so powerful. I mean, look at this stuff. Get that Ashiok down there, cheat and Emrakul into play. There it is, Fast Bond. So that's the combo. Kill all your lands in one turn. Strip Mine, kill their land. Fast Bond, play it for as many, keep doing that for as many life you have, and you can do it from your graveyard. That has to be it. Okay, so one combo is secured. Now we just need some combo with Mindslaver. Like, put it back on top of your library, and then you get every turn your opponent has, as long as you have enough mana to cast it. That's like a 10 mana investment to get it back, play it, and activate it every turn. Let's see. Just once per turn. Savannah. Savannah, we get that with Wooded Foothills. We don't really need white, but any fixing is going to be welcome, I would say. Ashen Rider, Geist, Sphinx. Not awful. And what is this? Spellseeker. Instant or sorcery to your hand. Let's grab Spellseeker. That gets Remand, Negate, Thoughtseize, Duress, Reanimate, Cataxian Probe. That's probably good enough. There's Animate Dead. Pestermite for someone's Kiki-Jiki combo. Animate Dead because, well, that's another copy of Reanimate. Now, it would be nice to have a few more ways to get stuff in the graveyard, but we'll worry about that later. Not that we have too long left to worry about it. Here's Tropical Island. Get that Fast Bond. Nice. Lets our Wooded Foothills find blue, which is great. Alice Norn, not looking for too many more reanimation targets. We've got 3 good ones. But I do like Tropical Island here. Him to Turok. And then some more fixing. Deranged Hermit, really good with opposition. This mana cost is going nuts here. But we're still not that green, so maybe not that. Him, I mean, we've got the Duress, Reanimate, and whatever, so why don't we just grab the Him here? I mean, it's that or take something like Hissing Quagmire. I'll take Him. Just the high risk, high reward. Discard the 2 cards your opponent's best 2 cards if you get lucky. Kiki-Jiki, maybe it's time to start denying some of this stuff. Trigon Predator, Hypnotic Spectre, or Copperline Gorge. Let's grab that. We might need the mana. The fast lands, in a deck like this, the fast lands are not as good as the dual lands and the fetches, but I guess they're better than usual. Languish, just in case. It's funny. Tier 1 card here in any other format is just kind of like a sideboard narrow card in Vintage Cube. Thing in the Ice, Tendrils, and Bonfire or whatever. I'll take Thing in the Ice. Godless Shrine. Is that a good pickup here? How many more cards do we need? We don't need too many more playables. Let's... that's tough. I don't think we need it for anything unless we're playing Kaya. Oh well. Sphinx is back. Okay, Vindicate. Tristani makes a few creatures. Get back all the creatures. I don't know. And then Kuldotha Forgemaster. We probably don't have enough early artifacts to really make use of Kuldotha Forgemaster. But let's see, this is a nice rainbow deck here with just about every color, tons of land. There's some things we know we don't want. Thalia, probably not enough green for Channel. I'm just splashing green for Tristani. We can see about splashing for something else maybe, but for now that's about it. And this is 23. I'll consider Gitaxian Probe a land just because it is a 0 drop and doesn't really help your mana, but also doesn't act as a card you need to cast. Mox Diamond kind of counts as a spell because you have to discard a land to use it. Fast Bond's pretty good, so maybe we'll consider the Gitaxian Probe one of these and then play 16 lands. So we can play one more card from here. Not enough artifacts to want Forgemaster. It does get Sphinx and it gets Inkwell Leviathan, and it can sacrifice itself, but with just Mox Diamond and Crucible of Worlds, that's probably not enough. Anyway, one more card, maybe, and that could be Kaya or Thing in the Ice. Let's see. Kaya, exile small things, and exiles cards from graveyards, but isn't really a creature on its own. Thing in the Ice is a creature for opposition, and does bounce all non-horror creatures. We don't have any other horrors, I don't think. Not the Bitter Blossom. Daretti, still good, even if you don't have that many things, artifacts to sacrifice to this, it's still pretty nice to rummage through your deck. Alright, one more. Let's bring in one more card. Maybe it's going to be Languish, but I'd rather just have something cheap to do. Play the white if we play Kaya, or we could just not play white at all and play Thing in the Ice. Okay, let's do Thing in the Ice, and that can be a slot we look at later. It's kind of like a Languish in that it can bounce a bunch of creatures. Alright, so sort by color, a lot of black, a lot of blue, and that makes sense with Ashiok. And just a tiny bit of, the tiniest bit of white, Sphinx. Usually we won't use land to get that into play. So what is this? This is 9, 7, 2, 1. 9, 7, 2, 1. No white. Put in one more black. And let's see how this looks after we put some lands in. So let's take out one swamp for the Mox Diamond. And then we have Strip Mine coming in for an island. Copperline Gorge coming in for mountain. Shoot, maybe we do need the mountain. That can come in for the forest. Tropical Island for island. Overgrown Tomb. Wooded Foothills. See, we need an actual mountain in there. So this more easily finds blue, so we can take that out. Watery Grave and Creeping Tar Pit in. Scalding Tarn. Again, we can't cut the mountain, so we'll cut an island. And that doesn't leave us with too many blue sources, but maybe just about enough, right? That's 8 blue sources. We've got opposition. How many black sources do we have? I don't think... Ah, yes, Wooded Foothills does find black. So that's about 11 black sources. trying to think, do we cut one of those for a blue? Or is this good enough? Did I have strip mine there? That can't be right. 7 blue sources, 11 black sources. Okay, so let's go 10, 8, 3, and then probably plenty of green. All right. Yeah, keeping low on white. Technically we do have white because Mox Diamond will add anything. If it comes to hard casting Sphinx, at least we have a way to do it. It's only 8 mana, some games will go that long. Everything else we can hard cast without having to do any tricky Mox shenanigans. But yeah, looks pretty good. Combo heavy deck here. Sort out the mana a bit. So I have all the fetchable lands over here. I've got 2 shocks and 1 dual land, and then we have all the rest of it. Strip mine, fast bond. Kind of a value, I guess you'd call it a demure deck with that fast bond value. Anyway, see you in the matches. Round 1. Unfortunately, we're on the draw here, but we can gain back some tempo with our Mox Diamond, discarding whatever. Wish we could discard a creature. I think we keep this. We don't have much to do here. We get an early Thing in the Ice, I guess, but it just depends on what our opponent has going on. We could just run out Strip Mine turn 1. Oh, Strip Mine. Is that what we want? Sure. Let's just do that. Kill their swamp. And then, I don't know, see what happens in a bit. Hold on to Mox Diamond here because we still won't be able to do anything. Maybe they have the same play. Okay. So now, I want to fetch and play Thing in the Ice. Just so we don't draw too many more lands here. And what do we want? Well, we'll have access to every color, so maybe we don't want to hurt ourselves. And if Mox Diamond dies, what color don't we have access to? Green, I guess. Let's grab Mountain. And we can discard Island. And we can play Thing in the Ice. Now we have, well, a Gonti eventually. Smuggler's Copter. Not an easy one for us to beat, all things told. But if they discard a big creature, that could get really good for us. Whenever it attacks or blocks, you may draw a card. They need a creature first, but I don't think that's too unlikely here. Oh, yeah, maybe they're going to be stuck on lands. So that Strip Mine really might have turned out well. Now what do we do here? I'm going to do this for life because we could draw that 4th mana for Gonti or whatever. Probably I'll do a Smokestack this turn. Let's take a look here. Yeah, Recurring Nightmare, Worn Power Stone, Bells in Lock, Shield Dread. So yeah, I mean, we're kind of doing the same strategy. We can just click done because we'll be able to see it in revealed cards here. Yeah, if they get the land here, and shoot, what would they do? They would need a way to discard something. So maybe they go Bone Shredder, attack with Smuggler's Copter. Maybe we should remand this just because we can, and that draws us a card. We don't really want them to use the Smuggler's Copter. Bitter Blossom. Still a little closer to land. Yeah, let's do Bitter Blossom. Pass it. Bone Shredder, then they're going to discard Shield Dread. We'll animate Shield Dread. They'll have to sacrifice their Bone Shredder, or maybe Vivian, because that's all they really have going on now is this Bone Shredder. So here it is again. Kills Thing in the Ice. Echo means they have to pay for it. If we get Crucible of Worlds, we can kill their swamp. So that is them casting Bone Shredder. They have one we don't know about, and they're about to have two we don't know about. Come on, discard Shieldred. Do it. Discard a big one. Discard Belzenlock. Take a look at that. It's just a big 6/6 thing that when it comes into play, you draw some cards. That's all it is. You can keep chaining cards. Yeah, Shieldred hitting the graveyard. That's so good for us. Shieldred, and they found a land at long last. Always yield to this. We're kind of low life, but I'm not too awfully worried about that yet. Spellseeker. This doesn't get much for us right now, but let's go ahead and animate Shieldred. Not an easy one for them to deal with, all things told. But what they can do on their upkeep is activate Smuggler's Copter. Pay for Bone Shredder, sacrifice Bone Shredder, something crazy like that. When did we... Hold on, when did I cast Animate Dead? Oh, to me it looked like the Fairy Rogue happened after... whatever. It happened after I got Shieldred into play, but that's just crazy talk. Okay, so they're not paying the Echo. They did find a land. Still not sure what that lets them do. They would have had to pay the Echo cost, but they could have activated a Recurring Nightmare this turn. Still, this only kills non-black, non-artifact creatures like Terror, so it doesn't really affect our side of the board. Things are going well. Heck, Shieldred even has Swamp Walk here. And they have some swamps. They end up playing Worn Power Stone. We can get back Thing in the Ice. Still no lands to speak of. The only thing we can really do here is Spellseek. Maybe that thins our deck enough to be useful. So yeah, we'll use that. What do we want? Him to Turok, Duress, Thoughtseize, Reanimate even. Maybe just negate. We know some of the stuff they have. Next turn they can do Belzenlock, Vivian. But we could do we could do any of this stuff. And they'll have to sacrifice Belzenlock, for example. Let's just take negate. I don't see how we lose a game where we have negate. They take 6. I mean, them resolving something really good this turn is a start. But this doesn't care. Opponents have to sacrifice any creatures they get. Doesn't matter if they're black or artifact or whatever. Just one per turn. But yeah, we have Worn Power Stone out there. Vivian's coming into play. They're going to search, I guess, is why you'd play it first. Looking at the top 3, one gets exiled face down and they can cast it at instant speed, or as if it were a creature. And while Vivian's in play, creature spells as if they had flash. Okay, so they find Solemn and they play Solemn just to get a blocker, I guess. Then maybe they're going to smuggle here. And with that, I'm awfully tempted to block to save my life. But I won't, because getting them dead is a little more important. That puts us to 9, then we go to 8 from Bitter Blossom, and that should all be fine. And they discarded Bells in Lock. Interesting. Yeah, so let's take this. This lets us send 2 Fairy Rogues to finish off Vivian. 5 at them. 6 at them. Scalding Tarn, I guess that puts us at lower life, but it lets us do stuff. Don't really want to do too much here because we want to hold up Negate for something more powerful like a Recurring Nightmare or something. Return to Ice, or Thing in the Ice, has plenty of counters on it, so we don't have to worry about that flipping. We'll play Scalding Tarn. I don't want them to be able to minus Vivian again, so let's send all of these cards at Vivian and then attack them with the rest of these ground attackers. And that does leave us a Fairy Rogue blocker for the Copter, because things are getting a little low in the life total department. Puts them at 8. Now, I guess they just want to activate Copter and then sacrifice the Simulacrum. Draws them an extra card. And they can get Demon Lord Belzen lock into play this turn with Recurring Nightmare. I might let them do that. That's pretty scary. Maybe we just counter Recurring Nightmare. Vraska. We definitely counter Vraska. That can kill Shield Dread. Maybe they can reanimate it afterwards, and we're just too low to deal with any of that. They can still get back something good here, but they're mostly out of mana. We know what they have in their graveyard, which isn't all that good. Maybe they'll discard something even better. But yeah, 7, 8, yeah, it should be just about enough to kill them here. If they only have one blocker. Now then, exiling stuff from graveyards looks important in this matchup. That's an easy Kaya and an easy piece of fixing for it. Godless Shrine for a swamp. And then Tristani Discordant. We could steal their things, so I don't really want this effect. Like, I don't want there to be a game where we have it in our hand but can't play it. We do need a cut. It's not going to be a big combo card. It could be Thing in the Ice, which isn't all that important to me. Although, I don't know. It's okay. I don't really love Phyrexian Arena in a matchup like this. I mean, it's a way to keep going. It's something we can get down early, but I'd rather just get out a game-winning card early. Like Ashiok. Slow hand again, but it exiles cards, so it makes reanimation worse. And we can try to thin our deck as much as possible here to start getting black sources. So what we have blue-black, get that with Scalding Tarn. Dharma Chandra. Do they have options here? Can't be Channel, because we have Channel. Jiraga Tree Speaker looks more like a big ramp deck this game. Wow. Big time. I'm surprised they didn't just level up this turn. Maybe they'll go Mox Emerald and do it anyway. Yeah, this is just about as good. Leveling up gives them 2 more mana well, 1 more mana next turn, because they can always level it up next turn. And we don't have much going on here. Want to preserve our life total, but I also want to thin our deck, so I think we'll go Wooded Foothills. Next turn, Gorge. Can we find blue at this? I forget. So maybe we can't Gorge next turn. But yeah, too many lands, no matter no matter how you put it. So they've got 4 or 5 mana available, which is a lot, but they only have 1 black. Well, 0 black, actually, as it stands. They could get in 2 damage here. See what we get. It might just, yeah, so we do have a black source. So now that'll be black, blue, plenty of red. Yeah, let's get Overgrown Tomb. So many shocks in this deck. Alright, so Gorge, Ashiok. And that forces them to come at Ashiok. It's pretty hard to kill Ashiok. Blessedly. Because it's pretty much 2 max. Let's exile some stuff. No creatures hit. We get Mind Twist, which is a nice one, and a couple lands. Oh well. We're probably priced into plussing for a while anyway. The thing is, I would have rather hit a creature that could have been a target for them later in the game. But next turn, Gonti coming down. Get all these vampire things into play. So yeah, Fyndhorn Elves coming in. They've got 6 mana. Hopefully it's not like Primeval Titan or something. Coming at Ashiok. It does spare us some damage. No, nothing. Nothing at all. Crucible lets us get fetches back. See what we get here. Still more nonsense. Land, Power Stone, Vraska. And let's go ahead to get Gonti into play. And I'll put Tropical Island into play to have that double blue in case our hand does disappear. Do need the double black though. Okay. And Gonti's trigger is so perfect. If this can happen, then we can play that card for the rest of the game. Maybe it'll be a Mox or something we can play at this turn. Let's see. What do we get? Acidic Slime. That's a really good one. So is Garruk here. Garruk fights all these things. And then it transforms on our side of the field. So that's pretty good. Sacrifice a creature, reveal a creature to our hand. Really tough. But I think if we can get rid of the swamp, we're in good shape. What a good turn next turn. Yeah. Okay. Your turn. Good luck hurting Ashiok at all. We did see one more black source there and put it on the bottom. And I'm pretty sure that's what's holding them back. They have plenty. The number of mana, I mean, maybe they have some big colorless bomb that costs too much for them to play, even with all of this out. But I think it's probably being constrained on black. That would be my guess. Or Eureka or something where they don't want to run it out because our hand's probably better than theirs anyway. So yeah, my plan here, yeah, they're just going to level up Tree Speaker a whole bunch. Fair enough. Fair enough. That will let all of their elves, well, Fyndhorn, tap for 1 more mana. Ashiok will just have to keep plussing here. And we find 2 creatures this time. We get Raphelos and Incubation Druid. Those don't help us much. I guess Raphelos does add 2 mana here. What we'll do is play Acidic Slime and kill that swamp, and that might end things. Good luck. Now, they might also have Reanimation, so what I don't really... Well, Reanimation doesn't help them that much. I'm going to hold back here. I wouldn't mind trading off Acidic Slime and then animating it, but if they draw black off the top and then use it to kill, I don't know, one of our lands, that could... It's a risk we don't need to take for 2 more damage. We're solidly ahead here, but that's one way they could start to come back. Now, if they want to trade it on our turn, I'm much more comfortable with that. Ashiok exiles all opponents' hands and graveyards for -10. That's getting pretty close. They find a black source. Yeah, I'll keep plussing here just to see what we see. We'll probably win off this Ashiok. Opposition is an ice draw. We can potentially... Yeah, let me attack with Acidic Slime here. This will keep them off of... This will keep them off of black if we can get it back. Yes, they are trading. That's so good. Okay, so we can animate dead the Acidic Slime and then play opposition, and that's just too much for them to deal with. Give me that Acidic Slime. I've got their upkeep stolen now. They could concede to this. This is nonsense. Kill that swamp. Their freshly drawn swamp. Okay, yeah, we'll pay the life because we also have this glorious card that we can use to tap down their blue source and Jiraga Tree Speaker. So on their upkeep, we'll go... I don't know if they want blue for anything, so maybe I just tap down their elves. No, I'll tap down their blue source. 5. And then, yeah, I'll tap down Jiraga Tree Speaker. They could come in for 2 somewhere, but that's not that big of a deal. Or they can tap for 5. Now that Jiraga Tree Speaker is a level 5 hero, it lets all the elves tap for 2. So that's 5 green. Let's see if they're chatting at us. Nope. They are coming at us, which is smart. Ashiok just has a bunch of counters. And our life is kind of low. Remand is some nice insurance here to survive. I just want to keep plussing Ashiok here. They're pretty low on cards in their deck. This should kill them in a couple turns and just remove things they could try to search for. Getting another creature into play is nice because we can tap down more permanents. But yeah, let's just use this Crucible while the going's good. Crucible will get, I don't know, Scalding Tarn to find more blue or something. I forget how many targets we have left for it, but whatever. Take another look soon enough. Again, we'll tap down some of their stuff. Remand any big thing they play. Actually, I should have left Gonti untapped. 5, yeah, remand this thing. Okay, so that was a good turn. They just have nothing left to do. I'll look. We have 2 islands and a mountain. Okay, but that's enough. They have had enough. We have a lot of powerful, hard-to-beat permanents in play. Crucible, Opposition, Ashiok, all active. And yeah, we got rid of all their black sources. See you in the next match. Round 2. We are put on the draw again versus both. They're down to 6. I'll definitely keep this. We have a pitchable land, a land, Duress and Thought. We can Duress and Thoughtseize turn 1. We'll keep this. Thoughtseize first, then Duress, because if we find that they don't have a spell, we don't want to Duress that. That's pretty crazy. We don't have a reason to have both, like, I don't know. Mox Diamond will be able to add red and green. The only liability there is they kill our Mox Diamond, but that is always a risk. White, just white aggro, it's going to be a 1-drop. That might be hard for us to beat. Oh, land tax. Oh, Mox Diamond is really good against land tax. They're going to be aggressive. So I'm gonna steal their 1-drop here, not play Watery Grave. Let's see what we get anyway. Oh, that's if we went first, we might have won even more easily here. They want to disenchant. Oh, we have to take. Well, let's see. We can take Restoration Angel with Thoughtseize and take Disenchant with Duress. Yeah, let's get rid of Copperline Gorge here. We might need double blue in the future. So discard that. Duress them. And take away that enchantment removal. What does this do? Yeah, they could Faith's Fetters any of this stuff, but we can still use it as mana abilities. Okay, so they have Ancient Tomb and Faith's Fetters left. Faith's Fetters is good against aggro decks because of the life gained, but it isn't really good against this deck. We even have Crucible next turn if they play their land. They might not play a land here to limit what we can do. That's a tough call for them. Yeah, they're going to try to limit what we're doing, and fair enough. Get our thing in the ice. There's no way I want them to activate this land tax. I will not, I will not do that, since we can do so much on 3 mana. Soul Ring, that's a good one. Phyrexian Arena. Ooh, that's so tough. Because they can do a lot on 3 mana here, maybe. Nope, I can't let them have the 3 lands into their hand. It's too powerful. Phyrexian Arena is pretty good too, but yeah, that's a tricky one. They're just going to keep playing the waiting game here. Well, so will I. Spellseeker. I mean, we can start doing stuff, but I really want them to commit one more land. Who has to discard first? Well, yeah, we don't have to start playing stuff yet. We'll have to discard first. Please play a land. Please just play a land. The thing is, once they play a land, they're going to play some big 4-drop threat that we have no way of dealing with. But it's not like we have an Ashiok. I mean, there are some cards I would love to get into play. Negate, that's interesting. Yeah, let's hold 7. Let's hold 7 here. The thing I could also do is wait for a reanimation spell and discard a creature. And they're just gonna still pass it back to us. Okay. Hymn to Turok. Oh, get wrecked. That's something I can do right now. See if, hopefully we don't get Faith's Fetters. Pretty useless. Lightning Bolt land. I mean, it's not nothing. And it keeps our hand below 7. Keeps their hand below 7 too. Below 8 rather. Oh, they found a thing. They found Sword of Fire and Ice. Now let's have ourselves a little look, shall we? Let's have a little look. Sword of Fire and Ice. Hopefully nothing to equip that to, but we'll know soon enough. They don't have much going on. They have a land, Incinerate, which they can't play, Faith's Fetters, and Angel of Invention. So once they get that, that white source might have been useful for them. That's really good to know about all that stuff. So Faith's Fetters. Let's discard our Sphinx. Why not? Okay, so we're never going to play that with a hand like this. And both our reanimation spells can be cast with the lands we have out here. So do they finally break? Are they finally going to play a land? That would make me joyful beyond dreams. They don't have much reason to. Yeah, they're just going to pass it back again. There's our land. Good deal, I guess. Oh, good deal. Well, this isn't going to be a game we win with Smokestack, I don't think. But I could also just discard a land. Let's discard Watery Grave. Because our lands we can start getting back with Crucible, if it ever comes to it. I love it. Obviously, we're sandbagging the lands. So if it isn't clear why we're not playing any lands, as soon as we go to their upkeep and we have more lands in play than they do, they get to search for 3 lands from their deck, which is like, okay, 3 lands, big deal. But they are stuck on white right now, and it thins their deck. I mean, they won't have to draw lands for the rest of the game if they do that a couple turns in a row. So let's discard... Gosh, I guess we discard Spellseeker? We don't need that. We don't need a Spellseeker around here. We just have to draw our reanimation spell. Now, the first reanimation spell isn't too powerful, but let's see. If we find Reanimate, then we can play a land and protect it with Negate, because what they'll be able to do is play a land, Faith's Fetters the Sphinx. We have no way of dealing with that except counter magic. Anyway, they're really thinking about it. This is the turn they'll have to discard to hand size. And I guess they're happy enough doing it. Discard a mountain. 4 types for Emrakul, so it costs 9. That's never going to happen. So let's discard Emrakul. Oh, too much. I hope they don't exile our graveyard, but Rest in Peace is not really a card in Cube. I mean, there is Relic of Progenitus, which is the closest thing. There we go. They broke. They played a land. Probably means they can play a creature and equip. Oh, interesting. Do we want to negate or remand this? I think we actually want to remand it, so that we can negate Faith's Fetters, for example. Oh, that's so good for us. Oh, goodness gracious. Strip Mine. Strip Mine, huh? Well, huh. Well, well, well. We could play Phyrexian Arena. That's kind of scary because it just kills us eventually. We could strip mine their planes. I think I'm going to do that. And then maybe negate this thing if they play it again. They might not be able to play it here. See if they play another planes. Two can play at this game. You wanted land tax out? Well, you're gonna have to, you have to pay the tax. They are hungry for that activation. And we can just sit back on reanimation plan. It's gonna be weird. They might be able to get our first, yeah, no planes, I guess. So they have to go to discard. Wish we had one more Mox in the deck. That would really make my day. Okay, I'm going to discard Phyrexian Arena. Because I can't imagine needing any more cards this game. Earlier, it would have been fun. Like, once we broke the land tax, we get to draw a bunch of cards over the course of the game. Now, it either mills us or kills us. I mean, it could find reanimation more quickly, but what a fun minigame here. Not every game's different, but some games are really different and interesting in Vintage Cube. It's like turn 14, nobody has any, we have a 0-4 in play. They finally play a land. So we can play a land. And let's see. That might mean next turn they get down something like Angel of Invention. What do we want to do? We want to get Crucible of Worlds. We can just get that into play next turn. Let's... Well, the only other thing we'd be doing is holding up Negate. So I think we get Crucible of Worlds into play this turn. To scare, like, I don't want them to know about it, but like they could beat us with Angel of Invention, but we'll see. It gives them this like this one turn window to draw that plains, and if they don't draw plains this turn, we might win. They can't incinerate it. They can't Faith's Fetters, well, they could Faith's Fetters it, but it's not going to change anything. This just prevents non-mana activated abilities. There it is, they have the second plains. So they'll get their Angel of Invention. Protection from blue and red. Oh, Soulfire Grandmaster. So they can equip Sword of Fire and Ice this turn, if they really want. Ouch. Oh, they're going to gain some life off of Incinerate. Why would they do that? That seems kind of silly. 6 card types. Why is it telling us that? I don't know. They have Restoration Angel. They have a third land. Oh, what to do. We finally have Animate Dead. So, what can we do? We can do all sorts of good stuff here. We can use Duretti to get back Sphinx. I would rather get back our Emrakul, I think. Yeah, let's Animate Dead. Emrakul. Protection from instants. Play Strip Mine. And then pass. And what they'll do is Faith's Fetters the Emrakul, and we can negate Faith's Fetters. What is this? Swords to Plowshares, Thing in the Ice. Fine. I wasn't too worried about that anyway. But the nice part about this is a flyer that doesn't care about Sword of Fire and Ice. Strip Mine into play, and then just pass it. So Emrakul kills them in 2 turns. Granted, Soulfire Grandmaster has lifelink, so if that hits us, then it changes that math a little bit. If they do nothing this turn, I guess it's just strip mine their planes. Fun. Fun game. And curse this land tax. If they didn't have it, we would have developed a lot more quickly. But so would they. Like, it's unclear who got the advantage out of that. It looks like we did because we're ahead. Playing another mountain, not Ancient Tomb. They realize sort of, well, one, they probably don't need the extra mana, but also, oh, maybe they did need the extra mana here, so they could go Angel of Invention and Sword. Well, they'll probably use Faith's Fetters anyway. So here it is. Faith's Fetters will negate that. Oops, that costs blue. Unfortunate we couldn't use Strip Mine. And we already got rid of Disenchant. The other way to kill Emrakul here is to remove Animate Dead, which is the easy way. Don't do it. And equip Sword of Fire and Ice. They don't get to attack in here. Now we can start strip mining the plains. Strip mine the plains. And they could, I mean, they could still draw plains here, surely, but, well, what else can we do? We know they have Angel of Invention, Ancient Tomb in their hand. We're unsure about that last card. Maybe the safest play is just to strip mine both of their planes this turn. It's not very interesting, it's not exciting, but it means they can't Angel of Invention. Just pass. I don't want to get hit. I don't want them to draw a card. And Emrakul's the safest thing we can do now. The easiest ways to get rid of it are white Faith's Fetters, sorcery speed removal, voting, Oblivion Ring, those kind of things. So hopefully we can keep them off of that. They only have 2 unknown cards, so it's unlikely they have both cards they would need, a white source and something good. We do mill ourselves first, but maybe we can get Ashiok down or something. That's good. That means... what does that mean? We can strip mine ourselves if we get too many lands out. That means... okay. Scalding Tarn. I guess we just reanimate Sphinx and hope they don't kill us with burn. Tough one. That's 8. We go down to 5. And a couple cards could kill us, but as soon as Sphinx hits, we win. Yeah, let's do it. Or we could Restoration Angel. That'd be hilarious. Zergo, Spellseeker. We could reanimate Spellseeker and then duress them eventually. No, let's get greedy. Let's go Sphinx. Get it into play. That hurts a lot, but that's okay. And then we could play a land, but any land we play short of strip mining our own land is going to give them that activation. So I don't want that. I don't want to not leave Emrakul back. If they have Lightning Bolt, I wouldn't have been surprised to see that hit us. 5. We could die to a sorcery 5 damage spell here. Fireball. I know there is one of those in the cube. Just enough to kill us, but the thing is, they only have a 1-turn window to get that done. And here, as soon as Sphinx hits, it's gaining 6. They play planes, which is almost a good thing for us. Now, time to hit. Hit with Sphinx. Oh, it has Vigilance, but the thing is it's not a blocker anyway. That puts us to 11. Great. Good news. Okay, so we can get Strip Mine out again. Kill that planes. Oh, it's too good. All right, nothing else. Can't really do anything else here. But soon we'll be able to start hitting with Emrakul. Crucible of Worlds. Just ready for fast bond. Then we could really go for it and kill all their lands and all of our lands. I don't mind. I'll just go for the win here. Just go for the win. It's 18. They need very specific stuff to survive. I guess if they had a little lifelink, they could have hit us with Soulfire Grandmaster on the crackback. Nice. But anyway, finally, it's over. Yeah, what an interesting game. What can we do about all that? We could bring in Languish. Languish is good against these types of decks. Take out Phyrexian Arena, which is bad against these types of decks. Maybe Kaya? Yeah, Kaya kills land tax, it kills small creatures, it gains life. Smokestack might be a little too difficult to get going. Rather just strip mine them again. Okay, let's do this. Smokestack, very slow, but if you get it out early and you have some source of counters, then you're in much better shape. Hopefully, the opposition does something as soon as it comes into play. Same with Languish, Kaya, whatever. So against the aggro decks, you might want to trim out the fluff. Here we go again. This is an awful hand. But is it good enough to keep? That's all we have to ask. I think so, because we're either going to draw a land or a big creature, and if we draw a big creature, we can do the spend your turn one discarding it. What does land do? I guess land is fine. It means next turn we can play Bitter Blossom. Sucks to lose a life every turn, but getting a 1/1 flyer every turn is good, at least. Blockers for a Sword of Fire and Ice equipped creature. We don't have the blue, but that'll be the next land we draw. And this, I mean, this is the best time to draw it. It doesn't thin our deck, so all lands are live draws. Wow, we get the blue anyway. Tell you what, let's hold off on the blue for now. Play Bitter Blossom. No time like the present. Ancient Tomb. Yeah, they're a really good land tax deck because they have the Soul Ring. They have, I don't know if they have any Moxen, but they have Ancient Land, which Ancient Tomb, which taps for a lot. The Ancient Land, it is ancient. This was a Tempest, a long time ago. Anyway, yeah, they're playing out all their lands, so we can kind of keep up with that. We've got, oh, Coercive Portal. It's not going to be fast enough. This is the silliest aggro deck I've ever seen. Maybe it is trying to be a burn deck. But all I can see is Ashiok in my hand with enough mana to cast it. Do I want to Gitaxian Probe them? No, I think we'll save that for Thing in the Ice and for when we can pay blue for it. The life is important here. Monastery Mentor, ooh. And we stumble into a good play. We can play Monastery Mentor before Gitaxian Probe. What is this? I think we want to vote for Homage, because that's what they're going to vote for. if Homage gets more votes or it's tied. Yeah, so we're just always going to vote for Homage. That is the dominating strategy. Unless they misclick on Carnage, and it's clearly best for us. Assuming they don't make a mistake, we should always vote for Homage. So yeah, this, 4 mana, draw a card at the beginning of each of your turns. That's all it really says. These are exiled with our Ashiok. Fun turn next turn. I mean, it's a free creature. Maybe they can Lightning Bolt to finish it off. They might be considering that, Lightning Bolted, so we can't even get it into play. But Monastery Mentor, Bitter Blossom, Young Pyromancer, in a spells deck with opposition, sounds good to me. Sounds pretty good. Zealous, come on. Well, they have two options here. They're going to steal Ashiok. They can -3 it or -5 it. The question is, do they want to kill Ashiok, or do they want Monastery Mentor in play? And I don't know. They -5. So they kill Ashiok with the Zealous Conscripts. I'm not too sad about that. And then they can swing for 3, which I'm also not too sad about. Will I take it or use the Rogue to prevent 3 damage? There's no reason to have this Rogue in play, I don't think. So I'll use it to soak up the damage this turn at least. Then Thing in the Ice can come out. Ah, that's too bad. They only had to spend 5 mana to deal with our 3 mana Planeswalker that would otherwise easily win the game. What can you do? Well, I'll tell you what I can do. Gitaxian Probe them. Wait, oh, this is exiled forever. Yeah, we can't even reanimate stuff. What a game. Well, I kind of want to draw land, right? So forget Thing in the Ice, forget Negate, forget all that. Let's Gitaxian Probe them for life. Draw the Swamp, hopefully. Oh no. They've got Sword of Fire and Ice this turn. So what we need to do is hold up Negate. Okay, so let's Thoughtseize them. This is an expensive turn. Thoughtseize them. Take one of these monsters. Let's take Gideon. And then negate Sword of Fire and Ice. Alright, so they get to draw another card. Not an easy game to win for us, I think. But if we kind of waste enough time here, Carnage, whatever. I said we should always vote for Homage. I changed my mind, but it doesn't matter. Because if they vote for Homage, it doesn't matter what we vote for. Another Mountain. And Sword of Fire and Ice. I will keep blocking these conscripts to try to survive a bit longer. Take 1 damage a turn instead of 3. A weird turn for them. I guess they would use Ancient Tomb to tap for Sword of Fire and Ice. That's what I expect. Oh, it's still on the stack. That was weird. They held priority there. Maybe that has something to do with Ancient Tomb. Oh, are they gonna mana tithe us? That would be something. That's a funny time for them to hold priority. Don't do it. What did they do? Ah, they killed Bitter Blossom. I'm not too sad about that. That means we're not going to die outright. They've got Plains and Incinerate left. Gideon, I wish there was a creature in the graveyard. That would make things simpler. There's about to be with this poor thing in the ice. Oh well. Oh well, what can you do? They're going to draw way too many cards, so I think what we want is strip mine, thing in the ice, and yeah, just no targets for reanimate, so it doesn't even give us an option. And then just let them have infinite mana with 2 cards a turn. Carnage, please. Okay, I'm gonna, as long as Carnage seems right, I'll let them misclick and vote for that. But yeah, I would love for this field to disappear. Might have to go to a game 3. Some of this is whoever gets the first few turns is going to win the whole thing, even if it takes a while. Now, it might not take too long. They do have a lot of aggressive elements to their deck. The cool part here is once they get another red source, they can incinerate every turn with a lifelink. So what do? We block the big one with thing. They go up to 16, we go to 12. Maybe they'll incinerate thing, but the problem with that is it's only a one-time thing for them. Crucible, why not strip mine now? I think it's better to wait with strip mine, even if we draw another land. Okay, goodbye thing. Even if we draw land, we'll want to reanimate on the same turn, maybe? Ulamog, I wish we had a way to discard that. But we do not. Huh. Yeah, reanimating thing in the ice is not so good here that I want to do it right now. Let's just kill this mountain and then kill it again. The most mana efficient play here. And now that we have Ulamog, well, I suppose we can't ever reanimate that because we won't have enough life going forward. But you do what you can do, so this is what we can do now. A little too late on our combo here. They got too much going, and it doesn't help them so much if they're just going to draw land every turn. Carnage, please. Coercive portal. Anyway, don't care about that. Here's Gideon of the Trials. Maybe they'll make an emblem. Never liked this Planeswalker. I don't like Planeswalkers without a path to victory. I mean, it's paragraphs of text. I'm not sure what any of it does. So it becomes a 4/4. It bubbles a permanent, and it gets this emblem. So they can't lose the game. Big deal. Anyway, what do we do here? I guess we reanimate thing in the ice, because why not? It's going to prevent 3 damage a turn. 4, 5, 6. They get us to 1. Then we strip mine away a plains. Quality over quantity. Looking grim. Oh wait, what happened? Why did we go to... Oh yeah, we're dead to reanimate. Carnage. We are dead to our reanimate. They're running pretty low on time, however, despite how aggressive their deck seems to be. It's not a lot of like 1-drop Savannah Lions or creatures. Ah, Face Fetters. It's a lot of these mid-range creatures that try to set up like a sword-wielding Zealous conscripts and win that way. So maybe we can fight the time battle. Going into game 3, we know that, well, first of all, Arena is going to be pretty bad. What else do we know? Leovold might be decent. Smokestack's pretty bad. Leovold. Can't draw more than one card each turn. And then you can draw a card when your stuff gets targeted. Interesting. And it's a creature. Pretty difficult to cast creature. Animate Dead. Thing in the Ice. I suppose that was a fine card to have. And then a bunch of this random stuff. Languish, I like Languish. The question here is what to take out, if anything, for Leovold. And with only, well, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 green sources. I mean, that's not nothing. We could take something out for that. But I like the rest of our cards. So let's not. Let's just keep Leovold out of the mix. It's okay. It stops them from drawing 2 cards off their big thing. But if they're playing that, they might be too low on time anyway. How about this hand? This hand is kind of weak. We can't cast Kaya. The first thing we can do is Spellseeker. And then get what? I'm going to mulligan here. This is a lot more interesting. I'm going to keep it. Godless Shrine, Let's go bottom with that. Hold on. Okay, let's bottom this, and then turn 1, Godless Shrine, Thoughtseize. Not a bad start. What do we get? Stoneforged Mystic. Lightning Bolt, Zealous Conscript. We don't have any equipment, do we? Decidedly not. So we can take... Maybe we take Grim Lavamancer. I don't know. This seems awkward at best. Remand the conscripts. Lightning Bolt. Mystic. I think we just don't want them to have Mystic. Lavamancer can only do so much. No reason to reanimate the Mystic, but oh well. Vantage off the top for them, and that puts Grim Lavamancer into play. Wish we had something to do, but what we have is a remand for something. Oh god, if they Zealous Conscripts the Ulamog, that would be next level. Okay, here I expect them just to attack, which is just fine. Then we might get red-green. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we have. Blue-black. We don't need double black. Maybe not. Green-blue is interesting. We definitely want blue, so I guess that's a thing. Duretti and Young Pyromancer are the only red cards. Well, yeah, let's get Tropical Island here. There's Duretti. Well, what are you going to do? Reanimate. Yeah, I really can't see reanimation on Stoneforge. Lightning Bolt. Remanding that doesn't make any sense. Wait for the big stuff. There's Ancient Tomb, so do they have a 4-drop or what? Remanding it kind of makes sense just to draw the card. Land, please. Okay, no land. This might be a quick game, despite all my efforts here. I mean, we don't have that many lands in the deck, but still. What's this? Big stuff. Restoration Angel. That gets remanded. Gonti, Lord of Luxury. Land, please. One land doesn't even do it. Maybe some kind of discard outlet. Here's Zealous Conscripts for no reason. Oh, Resto? Why would you do that? Main phase Resto. Oh, well, untaps your Grim Lavamancer, I guess. Come in with Summoning Sickness. And what is that, the Plains? Yeah, I think that's the Plains. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're not quite dead here, but this is the worst. If you wanted to know what was the worst, this is it. We had some cute plays, though, and that is the high variance format of Vintage Cube, I'm afraid. Do we have too few lands in the deck? Absolutely not. Our average mana cost is pretty high, but most of that we never want to use anyway. Then we almost got there. We had to mulligan this time. We just needed one more way to get Reanimate or something. We could have taken the wrong thing with Thoughtseize, but I doubt it. Gosh, we need like an extra land and a Languish this turn to survive. But like they might have just won that more quickly if they had their sword in the mix already. Okay, well, to finish things off here, let's get this Spellseeker into play. Find the absolute best card possible, which is probably Hymn to Turok. Why Hymn to Turok? Because if we draw a swamp, we can randomly discard... No, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, they have another cute piece of equipment here for the Stoneforge Mystic combo. Two of the best equipment in the game, Jite and Sword of Fire and Ice. Good games, BOFH. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you next time.